ang mga taong nagsastruggle with addictions, they don't even like themselves. Actually, number one sign yun, anger issues is depression. Nakikita lang natin sa tip is anger. Pero sa ilalim, ang dami niya ng pines down. Bakit may breadwinner? Anak siya. So pag step up niya, nagdi-dysfunction lahat. Hindi na siya marunong maging bata. Lahat ng tao may anxiety. Anxiety is when you are focused in the future and then you're focused on the bad and the worst thing that can happen. That's anxiety. Pag sinabi natin na mahal ko pa siya, may kadugtong na shame, pero ang tanga ko. Huwag mo nang dugtungan, sabi mo lang mahal ko pa siya. Walang meaning yon, walang value yon. Just acknowledge, mahal ko pa siya.
Kapag naririnig po natin ang salitang psychologist, madalas ang iniisip natin, therapy, advice, mental health, healing. Pero today, pag-uusapan natin yung siguro madalas hindi natatackle na topic ng mga psychologists natin. Unang-una na dyan, bakit nga ba may mga tao na mukhang okay sa labas, but deep inside, durug na pala? But may mga taong paulit-ulit bumabalik sa sakit? Mga taong mahirap, tas mabilis mag-heal after ng betrayal, at gaano kalaki yung impact ng childhood natin sa adult relationships na meron tayo ngayon. And of course, kapag may oras pa, let's also tackle addiction na hindi pwedeng simpleng sabihin na kulang lang sa willpower kung bakit naa-addict o gusto na magbago ng isang addict. And today, we are joined by the one and the only Mikey Hiron, a psychologist whose current work focuses on counseling, addictions, and of course, relationships. Pag-usapan natin lahat yan dito so Straight from the Heart with Mikey Hiron.
Yay!
Hi, Doc Mikey! Sorry, alam ko ayaw mo magpatawag ng Doc Mikey.
Yeah.
But let me just say, nag-makeup po siya for the pod episode na ito kasi the last time nakausap ko siya sa LPT, very plain, pero maganda pa rin.
Hindi ko nakala ganun pala yung tsura talaga, pag nasa TV ka parang,
Maganda, walang pinagbago sa'yo.
nakikriticize ko yung sarili ko.
Kaya
No.
may makeup o wala maganda pa rin. But thank you for
having
saying
me.
it. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you for having me. So ako, again, to Sam YG also and you, thank you for, giving me an opportunity to share what I know with the work that I do. Alam mo, honestly, sa panahon natin ngayon, sobra kong privileged to be part of mental health na pinag-uusapan na natin siya ngayon.
Yeah.
Diba?
Buti na lang.
Dati parang tinatawag tayo mga kurung-kurung, yung mga may struggle. So, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to share what I know.
Paano ka napunta sa ganyang field?
Okay.
Paano ka naging psychologist?
Okay. So, nung bata ako, hindi ko talaga pinangarap maging psychologist. Di siya pumasok sa isip ko. It was never in my head at all. So, college ako, I was doing business in the beginning, mga 2 years. Tapos sabi ko, hindi ko alam yung gusto ko. Kasi bumabagsak ako sa accounting eh. Hindi ako magaling mag-math. So, sabi ko, mag-shift na lang ako to a course. Tapos sabi ko, kaya ako gusto yung psych. Kasi pwede siya sa kahit ano. Pwede kang mag-corporate, pwede kang mag-med, pwede kahit ano. So, nung nag-psych ako with nothing in my head, nothing with my plans, when I graduated, yung nanay ko, she wanted me to do more. And so, pinatapon niya ako sa Amerika.
Okay.
Yun yung
ang sarap
reality
naman ng
nun.
patapon ni
Tinapon niya ako
ni
kasi
Mami. Oo.
nahihirapan na siyang ayusin yung buhay ko. Kasi aminado naman ako, I've been lost, I was lost in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, nung pinatapon niya ako sa Amerika, sakto. Yung para lang makapag-stay ako doon, nag-enroll ako sa forensic psych. And so, I think this is where I share with my clients na you don't have to figure out what you want today. A lot of us get stuck with, kailangan ko muna malaman anong gagawin ko and then I'll do it. So, sabi ko opposite siya. You have to keep trying. Because once you get into something, something in you will spark. I call this functional autonomy. All of us, we have that. Ibig sabihin, we discover something as we try different things. Like, how did you discover biking?
Oh yeah.
Diba?
Ay, hindi ko alam
Nag-bike
na
ka lang
magugustuhan
one day.
ko. True.
Sabi mo, wala, try lang natin. Tapos gustuhan mo siya, something in you spark. So that's exactly what my experience is. I became very interested na bakit nga ba ganun mga tao? So I learned behavior, I did my certification, and then, I started working in San Quentin. And San Quentin is one of the biggest prisons in the US. And yun nga, siguro, dun ako talaga meant. And then I worked with lifers. So we call them lifers because they will be there for the rest of their lives. So, being 26 years old, tapos ang mga kliyente ko mga 40 to 60 na male figure, doon ako unang na-challenge talaga na paano ko gagawin yung trabaho ko relating to people who don't respect me. Kasi nung nakilala nila ako, sabi nila, ito yung psychologist namin. 40 years old sila, 50 sila.
Bata.
Sobrang nila akong ginudge nun. Sobrang hirap. Pero dun ko na-realize, I think spontaneously, when one of my clients challenged me, sabi niya, what do you know? You don't even know my life. And I said, you're right. I don't know your life. But I know what it's like to lose something, to feel lost. Ibig ko sabihin is, wag natin kakalimutan yung first layer of humanity, which is to understand experience, di ba? So, yun, naging psych ako. Nagtuloy-tuloy na siya. Kasi dikit-dikit yan eh. Nung nagtatrabaho ako sa prison, syempre may mental health concerns yan. Kadalasan meron ding addiction. So, inaral ko na rin yung mga part na yun. And then, eventually, during the pandemic, things happened in my life as well. Bumalik na ako dito. Kasi sabi ko, Cha, ito na lang when we give our time, we're giving someone something we can't get back. When you give someone your time, you can't say, balik mo sa akin yung 1 hour ko. So nagkaroon ako ng ganong moment when I was working in prison na dinededicate ko yung oras ko para sa mga taong to. I want to do it, and this might sound cheesy, but I want to do it with my people. I want to go to the Philippines because mas kailangan ako doon. Naging ganun yung tema ng buhay ko. So when I started to actually work here, dito ko nakita yung meaningful, hindi siya malaki, kita, compared to, when I was in the US. But iba yung sense of fulfillment na nawi-witness ko yung tao from wanting to die, from wanting to just, ayoko nang mabuhay. And I just asked for an hour. Yung isang oras lang na samahan kita. Wala akong solusyon sa lahat ng problema mo, pero sasamahan kita. And you know what? Yun yung pinaka-importante. People don't come to me because I can fix their problem. They come to me because, Maxine, alam mo ba? Tapos ako privilege yun sa akin na nasasamahan ko yung mga tao na hindi ko alam mangyayari pero nandito tayo. And that to me is enough.
Sabi mo nga, naalala ko yung sinabi mo before nung nag-guest ka sa amin sa isang pod na ang psychologist hindi nagbibigay ng advice. You just listen. So, were you always like this? Mahilig ka ng makinig?
Nagkaroon ako ng turning point siya noong 2017. I hit rock bottom. And when we say rock bottom kasi yun yung walang-wala ka, wala ka matakbuhan, wala ka ng pag-asa. And I think when I hit rock bottom is when I truly met myself. I truly understood anong purpose ng buhay ko. Wala pa akong anak noon, single ako. So talagang tinatapon ko yung buhay ko until na-realize ko na pag ang isang tao mamamatay na, kunyari mawawala na siya na talagang nasa deathbed na siya, di naman sila akin yung mga kotse ko, display mo dyan. Tsaka yung mga susi ng bahay, hindi, ang hinahanap nila tao. Ang gusto nila relationship. Ang gusto nila makita yung mahal nila sa buhay. So sa akin, para lumapit, naiyak ako, ba't ako naiyak?
No, it's okay. It's okay, oo.
Pero diba, para, huy cha, ba't ganito?
yan din yung sabi ng isang guest kanina eh. May something dito sa room na to eh.
May something dito sa room na to na sobrang intimate. Pero, di ba, pag nasa dulo tayo ng buhay natin, hindi naman tayo naghahanap ng solution. Gusto lang natin ng kasama.
Nang makikinig.
So, siguro yun yung na-discover ko sa life ko na ang sarap nung ginagawa ko kasi una, binabayaran ako.
Kasama
Pero
na yun.
on top of that is the ability to connect to someone and help them change their lives.
Yeah. Help them believe.
Yeah. Help them
again.
have hope again.
Yeah, have hope again.
Kaya ito add ko lang, sa addictions, ang mga taong nagsastruggle with addictions, they don't even like themselves. Kasi usually pag ang tao nagsastruggle sa addiction, I'm sure wala na silang kaibigan kasi pagod na sa kanila. Pangalawa, I'm sure inabandon na sila ng pamilya nila. Pangatlo, baka wala na silang pera. So very unstable sila. So pag lumapit sila sa akin, parang breath of fresh air na, nakikinig ka sa akin, naniniwala ka, and I wanna be that person.
Nagtrabaho ka sa US and you met so many people there. Nasa lowest points din sila ng buhay nila. You call them lifers kasi hindi na nga sila makakalabas doon.
Correct.
Ano yung pinaka natutunan mo from that experience? And may nabago ba sa perspective mo about sa mga tao, sa buhay?
Yeah. I think yung biggest realization ko since I started doing my work is that all of us are really doing our best with what we have. And unfortunately, not all of us were given the same opportunities. Hindi tayo pare-pareho ng pinagmulan. Yung iba sa atin, hindi nga alam kung anong ibig sabihin ng tahanan. Yung iba sa atin, hindi alam kung anong pakiramdam ng tahimik na buhay. So, when I started working in the US at nakita ko yung gravity na yun, na-realize ko na yung mga taong nakakulong, isipin mo siya, di na sila magiging parents, hindi na sila yun na yung buhay nila. Nasa end na sila.
Yeah.
Wala na silang magiging trabaho, hindi na sila mapopromote. So ang sa akin, naniniwala kasi ako na prevention is better than the cure.
Yeah.
Prevention is better than punishment.
Yeah.
So the work that I did after ko nagtrabaho doon is more prevention. Meaning, agapan na natin bago pa umabot sa ganun.
Bago pa makulong.
Oo. Kasi ang tao, remember this yung brain natin, hindi nito alam kung anong tama. Alam lang ng brain natin kung ano yung inuulit-ulit natin. So kung ang tao, paulit-ulit, kaya nga patterns, paulit-ulit na yun yung nakikita nila, yun yung natututunan nila, at one point, hindi na tayo magugulat saan sila papunta. So if I can get an opportunity to help them break that cycle, I'm already saving people from getting into prison.
Anong common denominator ng mga tao na na-meet mo dun sa US? Kung bakit sila nandun, bakit nila ginawa yung desisyon, dahilan kung bakit sila nasa loob ng kulungan?
Magugulat ka dito, Cha, but family. Most of the people I meet in prison, very dysfunctional ang family. Kasi family is everything. It's your first relationship. It's your first kind of home. It's where you inherit your biological components, right? So if your family, kasi pwede naman natin magkaroon tayo ng pamilya na gustong magbago di ba? Meron mga pamilya na binibreak na yung generation na concerns nila. But may mga tao rin talaga na ganun na sila pinalaki ganun yung kinalaman nila. Kaya para sa akin, sobrang admirable. Ina-admire ko yung mga clients ko na lumalapit for the first time. Kasi sinasabi nila na ayoko na. Kasi sabi ko, kung hindi tayo magkakaroon ng opportunity na adults na tayo tapos i-confront natin yung sarili natin, uulitin lang natin yan lahat. So every human being that I meet in my session, I see them as children in adults' bodies. They are just children. They are dealing with life in the best way they know how. Kaya most of us, diba, sabi ko nga, lahat ng mental health diagnosis, depression, anxiety, OCD, PTSD, trauma, all of these things, I consider them as maladaptive coping. Kunyari, bata ako, tapos pag umiiyak ako, sinasabihan ako na, huwag kang umiyak, weak. Natututunan ko is pag may kailangan ako, may needs ako, huwag ko siyang i-express, ipe-press down ko siya. That's pretty much depression. So when I grow older, with learning how to, ito yung importante sa akin, ipe-press down ko siya, I'm gonna develop depression. That's why, as an adult, hindi na gumagana yung pag-press down kasi nagla-lash out ka na, may anger issues ka na. Actually, number 1 sign yun, anger issues is depression. Kasi,
Really?
oo, kasi ito yung, kumbaga sa iceberg, nakikita lang natin sa tip is anger. Pero sa ilalim, ang dami niya ng pines down. Pagod na ako, insecure ako, mag-isa ako, malungkot ako. Sobrang laki na nung depressed, di ba? So, ang opposite ng depression is not happiness, but actually expression.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin, we learn depression because we have learned to press down our needs. So, when a client comes to me, tapos sasabihin niya na, first time ko itong aminin, nakikita ko na parang magsasalita pa lang, ang dami niya nang gustong sabihin.
Daming hang-up.
Yes. Doon ko na, again, like I said, I see a child in an adult body just trying their best.
So, yung binabanggit mo ngayon, nagulat ako. Karamihan ng taong may anger issues, sila yung may depression.
Yes.
Kasi hindi nila ma-express yung feelings nila.
Anger is a secondary emotion.
Okay.
We don't just feel angry. We get angry because there is another primary emotion. So, for example, late yung order, nagalit ako. Kaya ako nagagalit kasi meron akong isa pang emotion which is impatient ako, nag-intay ako, nainis ako dahil ang tagal. Hindi naman ako nagalit out of nowhere. Ibig sabihin, the Kasi if I have a whiteboard, I'll draw it. But meron siyang sa ilalim nun, ang pinakalumalabas na lang galit kasi sobrang bigat na. So,
Okay.
pikon ka na sa lahat ng stimulation.
Oo.
So, anger is the first sign that someone is carrying a lot. Kasi sila yung kunyari galing kang trabaho, napahiya ka, ginanito ka, inaway ka. So, syempre, onting trigger lang sa'yo, ano ba? Pikon na pikon ka na eh. Kasi ang dami na dito.
Ang daming laman ng plato mo.
Correct. So, I don't believe people have anger issues. I think we have coping issues. I think, kasi pwede naman iwasan na yung mga galit by saying na, yun, yung sinasabi ko kanya, wait lang, mabigat. Kasi in touch ako sa emotions ko. Alam ko na kapag hindi ko kinommunicate na pikon ako at kinaya ko, pipitikan ko to somewhere. You know what I mean? But because what I teach my clients also in session is to understand your body. Because ang body natin, it spontaneously creates emotions because it's trying to talk to us. Right? So, kunyari, ang taong pagod, nagkakasakit. Ang taong sobrang lungkot, di ba, dinadescribe nilang bigat dito.
Bigat sa dibdib.
Nasa body natin siya.
Oo.
So, kung hindi tayo in touch with our body will control us.
We have
our
to
emotions.
listen to our body.
Yes.
When people cannot express kung ano yung nafe-feel nila, pumipitik sila, nagagalit sila. After nung pitik and nung anger issues, may kasunod pa ba yun na mas malala?
Ay, oo, guilt. Tapos yung guilt magkaka-shame.
Okay.
So, punta tayo sa example, kunyari, ng addictions.
Okay.
So, kunyari, ang dami niya. Kasi addiction, by the way, is coping din yan eh. Pag sabi kong coping, parang yun yung natutunan niyang gawin para i-address yung nararamdaman niya.
And there are a lot of addictions.
A lot.
Diba?
A lot.
Substance abuse, may
Yeah,
shopping
behavior,
addiction.
eating,
disorder, yeah. Oo.
a lot, shopping, tapos or kaya gambling, finance,
Oo.
or sex.
Yeah, sex.
Diba?
Oo.
So all of these are impulsions or compulsions. Basically, hindi na natin mapigilan yung sarili natin. Binibigay natin sa katawan natin kasi mas mahirap hindi ibigay. You get it?
Okay.
So kaya may mga, kasi we're dealing with the brain eh. So sabi ko sa'yo, diba, kung ano inuulit-ulit natin sa brain natin, yun yung kinakasanayan. Ngayon, dahil tinatry mo siya i-cut, ayoko na, hindi ko na siya gagawin. Yung struggle nun dito sa brain, physical yun. Kaya totoong break-up na ang bigat, ang sakit, merong totoong withdrawal symptoms yun eh.
Oo.
Withdrawal, relapse, kaya kailangan mo mag-detox talaga eh. And detox has a lot to do with movement, your body, diba? So, saan na ba tayo? Sa addictions is when somebody is basically wired to keep doing what they do because when they stop it, there is an actual physical pain.
So how do you make it stop?
So, how do we make it stop? Very good question. Unfortunately, not a lot of people will be able to make it stop. Not a lot of people.
Really? Okay.
Because not a lot of people have insight. Ibig sabihin, may isa akong client, tinanong niya ako, sabi niya, so kung patterns to lahat at lahat tayo may pattern, nagbabago ba ang tao?
Yeah.
Ganda, no? So, sabi ko,
Nagbabago ba ang patterns at routine?
nagbabago ba? Kumbaga
Oo.
parang, so kung sinasabi mo may patterns kaya nahuhulaan mo, does it ever change? Yes. If the person wants to and they see why they have to.
Okay.
So there are stages in addiction. So the first one is pre-contemplation. So ibig sabihin, di nila alam na problema. Kaya nga yung mga tao na, uy, tigil mo na yan, grabe ka na uminom, ha? Di naman kita. Yun, wala pa silang insight. Okay lang yun. Second stage is when napapakonsider na sila na, parang baka nga adik ako. Ano ba yun? Basta merong onting parang may mali nga dito.
Oo.
Ready na yan.
Okay.
Ibig sabihin, kailangan lang niya ng support. And so what happens next is preparation.
Oo.
Kasi somebody cannot just, ayoko na, mali na pala yun. At pag hindi ka nag-prepare, babalik ka lang dyan. Preparation, action, and then maintenance. Meaning you keep repeating what worked for you para hindi mo malik sa cycle. And then comes relapse. By the way, this is also like a breakup. Di ba?
Okay.
When you break up with someone, alam mo na, ayoko na, bad sa akin yun. And then mamaya mag-relapse ka. Kasi
babalik ka
maaalala
na
mo.
naman. Oo.
That's just the brain
Yeah.
playing a trick on you na nagki-crave. May cravings yan eh. So yung craving na yun, basta may inaalis ka, whether droga,
Or tao.
alak, or tao, kailangan may pinapalit ka. Hindi pwedeng may void. Oo, kailangan may pinapalit ka.
Always.
So I'll give an example. So kunyari every Friday, nag-gambling tong taong to.
Oo.
Pag Friday, ang taas ng urge niyan. Kasi sana yung body eh.
Ginagawa niya yun.
Nasa na yung gambling natin. Gigigil pa yan, nagpapawis. Hindi pwedeng wala siyang pinalit doon. So kailangan may pinapalit siya doon na hangout pero mga sober. Hangout mga kaibigan pero
Kape
good
na lang.
influence. Yes. Hindi pwedeng may void. Kung may inalis ka, papalitan mo siya kasi kaya mo naman to nahihirapan alisin kasi may maganda naman talaga doon eh. So kukunin mo yung maganda doon, papalitan mo.
Paano kung tao yung aalisin mo, tao rin yung kapalit?
Of course, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pwedeng kaibigan, di
Hindi
naman
ka
dapat
pwede-
jowa agad.
Yes,
Oo.
wag jowa agad. Kasi pag jowa agad, ang ginagawa mo rin sa sarili mo is hindi mo inaalaw yung sarili mo to heal from it. Nilalagyan mo lang siya ng tapal. So, eto ang suggestion ko. Kunyari, may breakup. Talagang immerse yourself with people who love you.
Oo, at least alam na natin ngayon na dapat may kapalit.
Dapat
so
may
example, if you're a shopping addict, every Friday shopping ka ng shopping, find
Find
thing or
something.
find something na pwede mong gawin
To replace
other
it.
than shopping.
Correct.
Ano madalas nire-replace? Halimbawa for substance abuse.
Correct.
Anong
Okay.
ina-advise mo for your clients na ipalit nila doon?
Okay, so pagdating kasi sa substance, meron siyang physical and physiological chemical imbalance.
Oo, so mas
Okay?
mahirap yon.
Mas mahirap
Oo,
yun.
for
Kasi
shopping addiction.
pag shopping addiction, ang suggestion ko doon is replace it. Kasi bakit ba tayo nag-shop? Una, it makes us feel good.
Yes, tsaka yung deserve ko naman to. Pagod
diba?
ako yung mga ganyan.
Ano siya, sabihin na natin, it makes you happy, deserve mo siya. At sabihin natin, instant kasi siya eh. Pag pinindot-pindot mo, nandyan na eh. So, find something that is similar to this. So, that could be what makes you feel good.
Exercise.
Right? Or you can even do like a hobby. You can do, kailangan mo kasi siyang i-desire palitan. Parang ganito siya. The only way we can change a behavior is if the changed behavior is better than this. Other than that, mag-stick talaga ako sa first. So you need to discover first, bakit ko ba gustong alisin? Kasi kung sasabihin niya sa akin, kasi nalulubog na ako, wala na akong pera. Oh, good. Eh di so palitan natin siya ng you will be able to save and you will be able to spend it maybe in an investment, which is pretty much finance, di ba? So you have to replace it with another behavior that is good for you. Basically, look for a coping that is healthy rather than unhealthy.
Oo.
So you'll still cope.
Yeah, yung hindi masakit sa bulsa.
Yung hindi masakit sa bulsa.
Okay.
Parang yung di ba sinumention ko to yung dun sa crane?
Oo,
di ba,
masakit din yun sa bulsa.
Masakit din yun sa bulsa.
I know, pero mas
Pero kung
hindi siya,
i-compare mo siya dun sa...
mas matipid to. True. Pero grabe, nagiging addiction na rin yan for other people, ah.
Dopamine yun eh.
Oh, I know.
Yung feeling na, mahuli ko ba to? Hindi ko alam.
Hindi.
Oo.
Ang
Yun-
dami ko nakikita
ganyan
kasabay ko sa
kasi
time
tayo.
zone. As in.
Naku, yung kapatid ko.
I know. Kung ano
gumagastos
man ang
na
mga
ng 3K.
tinatakasan nilang addiction. Go guys, support kami.
Tapos yun, may sabi ko, okay na siguro to kesa ito yung
Correct.
kaadikan.
Kaya ang kaadikan mo, luxury bags, doon ka na lang sa crane.
correct.
As a psychologist, kailan dapat lumapit ang isang tao sa inyo?
Alam mo ako kasi wala akong parang standard. Obviously kapag gamit na lang muna tayo ng realistic.
Usually kasi mga tao pag malala na yung problema.
Oo.
Pag down na sila, pag hirap na hindi
Correct.
na makahinga, doon naghahanap ng psychologist.
Correct. So, meron tayong Ds na tinatawag. So, duration. Ibig sabihin, gano'n na ba katagal ganito? Kasi mga 2 to 3 days, try mo agapan, baka kaya. So, duration. Number 2 is dysfunction. Baka hindi na siya nagfa-function. Di na niya kaya pumunta sa trabaho, di na niya kayang magluto para sa anak niya. So, may dysfunction. And then the third one is danger. Kung di na niya naalagaan sarili niya or di niya na naalagaan yung ibang tao or danger siya sa society. Kailangan na niyang magpatingin. And then the last one would probably be deviance. So, kunyari, hindi siya normal sa kultura natin. So, we look at abnormal if it is already a danger to someone, a danger to society, gano'n na katagal, hindi na siya nagfa-function, definitely go. But like I said, prevention is better than a cure.
Correct.
Para umabot sa gano'n, ibig sabihin medyo matagal na niyang kinakaya.
Oo.
So ang standard ko is the moment you think you need, I think you should.
Okay.
There's nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you could just say, okay pa pala ako.
What if I'm
Walk out.
okay? I just...
Yeah.
Pwede rin ba yun? Like,
Pwede
you're
rin
not
yun.
feeling anything. You're just happy.
Yeah.
Gusto ko lang ng may kakwentuhan.
Yes. So I
Is that
have.
healthy? Okay lang ba yun?
Yes. Because it's pretty much going to a doctor and say, I want to do a blood
Executive
work.
check-up.
Correct.
Mhm.
Kasi, 'di ba, hindi naman lahat tayo may may standard of like, kasi ano siya, kinaya niya, dapat kinaya ko din. Hindi pinag-usapan dito ikaw. And ang maganda kasi sa therapy, sa totoo lang, is yung tao sa harapan mo, may ano kayo may rapport, may safety, may hindi ka niya i-judge, alam niya yung gagawin, hindi niya pagkakalat kung ano yung pinag-uusapan nyo. Meron na ngang mga programs ngayon, libre, may mga pro bono na. So, mental health is as important as our physical health. Because kung anong tumatakbo dito, nangyayari yan sa body.
And it's also important to find the right psychologist para sa'yo.
Yes.
Sana lahat ng psychologists ganito. Yung pagkausap mo na talagang... Kasi how will you know if that person is the right psychologist for you?
Okay.
Anong dapat
Ganda
ma-feel
niyan.
ng tao?
Una, kasi kahit gaano kagaling yung psychologist, kahit gaano karaming MA, PhD, PsyD na mga nakalagay sa pangalan nila, kung hindi kayo nagko-connect, wala yan kwenta. I will be very firm in that opinion that the reason why therapy works is because of the client professional relationship. Meaning they can open up to you. They feel like they're heard.
Yeah.
Marami na ako na-meet ng mga ibang clients sa pag tinatanong ko, nagpa-therapy ka na ba? Tapos tinatanong ko, anong hindi mo nagustuhan? Siguro one of the very common answers is that, di ka man nag-connect parang ginudge ako. Very common. Ikaw ba gugustuhin mo mag-open up sa isang tao? Ano ka ba? Dapat happy ka.
Yeah. Oo.
Diba?
Dasal mo lang yan.
Oo. Or kaya dapat grateful ka. So parang sila, ayoko na.
Galit na galit yung mga psychologists dyan no?
Kaya ako sobrang iba yung approach ko kasi siguro bilang tao nga, huwag natin kalimutan maging tao.
Yeah.
Diba na parang make it light, make it relatable, but also make it very professional.
Kanina, tinanong kita kung ano madalas yung reason kung kumbaga common denominator ng mga tao na nasa preso. You said dysfunctional yung family. So, importante rin na yung mga magulang nagpapasay?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nang sabay. Mag-asawa ito?
Yeah. Sobra.
Okay.
Kasi, okay, meron akong share. Siguro for everyone's insight. Ang system kasi, pag tinawag nating system, ibig sabihin may mga members or parts na may kanya-kanyang function. So, kunyari, solar system. May sun, may planets, may stars. Okay. Lahat ng parts na yon iba-iba yung function nila. Kasi yung sun, hindi siya pwede maging earth. Diba? Mamatay tayo. But, so the same way as in the family, there's a system. May parents, may mga anak. Ang problema is dahil sa roles na hindi nagagampanan, katulad sa kultura natin sa Pilipinas, diba, may breadwinner. Bakit may breadwinner? Anak siya. Diba? So ibig sabihin, itong anak na dapat inaalagaan, inaaruga, siya ngayon yung sumistep up. So pag step up niya, nagdi-dysfunction lahat. So imbes na yung totoong parents ang nag-aalaga, nagpa-provide, itong si breadwinner, hindi na siya marunong maging bata. So doon ko nakikita na yun yung tinatawag na dysfunction.
Oo.
So the same way as our body, may kanya-kanya tayong parts. Pag nabulag ang isang tao, hindi naman siya hindi nagagalaw Magiging sensitive yung ears, gaganon pa rin siya. So yun yung mga nagsi-step up, kaya may dysfunction.
Okay. So, meron ka rin mga clients, halimbawa, ng mga magulang na may mga problema sa anak.
Sobrang
At
dami.
sila ang...
Problema. Sila talaga ang problema.
Sinong kina-counsel mo doon? Sino tina-therapy mo? The parents or yung anak? Paano yun?
You know,
ano ba yan? Iba-ibang oras? Sabay sila?
So, we do feedback sessions. So,
Okay.
because a child, so let's consider a child as someone who's a minor, they can't make decisions for themselves. Kailangan talaga nandun yung parents. So, ang ginagawa ko is I invite the parents para maging cohesive yung discussion.
Oo.
Ibig sabihin, kunyari lang sabihin ng parents, yan kasi mahilig mag-tantrums. And then based on my observation, kasi nakikita ko sa system, pag tumakbo si baby dito bawal, pero kay daddy pwede. So nagkakaroon ng hindi kayo united. So si baby, minamanipulate kayo. Ganon. Diba? Yung parang, matalino mga bata
I know.
So kailangan the parents are doing their
United.
roles
Correct.
so that the children will not be lost. Yan.
Oo.
So yes, I do give them feedback, kasali sila sa discussion. Pero siguro shout out sa mga parents that as a psychologist and other professionals, we are not with your children 24/7.
Okay,
Ikaw yung nagkasama nila. So what we can provide is a constructive feedback, but we cannot give back your son 100% okay na sila because we need yung mga natutunan, it has to be reinforced in the home.
Ilang buwan or ilang weeks yung sessions mo or therapy na pinakamabilis, okay na siya, kahit ano man yung issue niya, and yung pinakamatagal na
Okay.
hanggang ngayon kausap
Ganun
mo pa rin. Oo.
Okay. So pag madalas yung session, mas madalas din yung constructive na parang interventions that we provide. So ideally, meron akong ito just a case, 9 years old siya, ayaw niya
Oo.
pumasok.
Oo.
So yun, based on our therapy, on our sessions, kasi pinapagalitan siya lagi.
Oo.
Kumbaga parang walang sense of appreciation. Ang tawag ko dito is conditional sense of worth.
Okay.
Ang natututunan ng bata is mahal lang ako kapag nag-perform ako. Oo, sobrang sakit. Sobra. So, dahil nagpa-perform yung bata, pinipilit niyang gawin na nag-aral naman ako, tinry ko naman, pero galit pa rin sila. Nandun na sila sa point na ayoko na lang kahit anong gawin. So, ang sabi ko dun sa parents, next time mag-fail siya, dalhin niyo siya sa favorite niyang restaurant. Sabi, bakit naman? Oo, saka yung i-reward nyo pa rin. Tapos sabi ng parents, bakit namin gagawin yun? Sabi ko, kasi tinuturo nyo sa anak nyo na mahal nyo siya kahit anong mangyari. Tapos naiyak yung nanay. Kasi sabi ko, children are starting to learn that their value and worth are in their performance. We don't want to teach that.
Yeah.
But that is unconsciously what happens when we scold them when they're not enough. So meron talaga siyang malalim na hindi ma-verbalize sa mga bata.
So, oh wow. Kasi gentle parenting and kung paano tayo pinarent ng mga magulang natin
layo.
before, ibang-iba na.
Sobra.
Which one's better? Ay, minsan ba tayo lulugar?
Balance.
I'm talking about these things kasi malaking factor sa akin yung binanggit mo kanina, yung ni-reveal mo na most of the people who are inside the prison ay dysfunctional yung family.
Families.
Ayusin na natin hanggat
Ayusin na
kaya.
natin ngayon.
Oo.
Correct. Tsaka maraming mga bata kasi, sabi ko nga diba siya nung last podcast natin na yung tahanan kasi kailangan, parang ganito yan eh. Pag may ginawang mali yung bata, anong gusto mong sabihin niya? Oh my gosh, hindi pa malaman ni mommy.
Ganun tayo before.
Yes.
Oo.
Or, hindi kailangan malaman ni mom. Nakakatakbo ba sa akin yung anak ko? Ibig sabihin, oo, may disiplina, may respeto dapat yung mga anak. Pero lalagyan natin sila ng ability to speak up. How does this translate
paano
in
yung
the day-to-day?
boundary nun?
Exactly.
I know.
So,
oo.
ako personally, yung anak ko kasi ngayon, in-encourage ko siyang mag-speak up. Pero may mga limitation na bawal niya ako sigawan, wag niya akong sasakta. Yung merong...
May wall.
Oo, may
Oo.
limit pa rin yan. One time, nakita ko siya kumakain ng chips sa kama. Sabi ko, ba't ka kumakain ng chips sa bed, anak? Sabi niya, why do you eat chips in the bed?
Oo nga naman. My point.
Tapos sabi ko,
Oo.
okay lang sa akin yung mga ganun. Kasi gusto kong matuto siya na curious. But ikaw, mama, pwede.
Yeah,
Di ba?
yeah,
Pero hindi ko siya sasampalin doon na don't answer back.
Oo,
Ang papagalitan ko siya is pag bastos yung tono.
Yeah,
ganon.
yeah.
Kumbaga yun yung for me balance.
Oo.
May disiplina, pero merong respeto pa rin sa mga anak.
Ang ganda.
I allow him to speak up.
Nagdidisiplina pero yung respeto hindi
Meron pa
dapat
rin.
nawawala. Dapat malinaw sa mga anak natin na kaya mong lumapit sa amin
Correct.
kahit ano pang issue mo.
Correct.
Okay.
Kasi, at saka mahirap yun Mahirap gawin yun kasi syempre bilang nanay, meron ka ring...
hindi mo nga alam minsan sa kalulugar eh.
Oo.
Kasi nga pag gentle parent mo, baka di ba? Baka
Mag-spoiled.
ma-spoil.
Sobra.
Pag naman sobrang higpit mo, magre-rebelde.
Exactly.
So minsan di na rin alam ng mga magulang kung saan lulugar.
Correct.
Tapos there are also people saying na yung mga bata ngayon super sensitive na.
Totoo naman
Diba
din
sobrang
yun.
fragile nila ngayon.
Sobra.
So I mean, asan ba yung problema? Is it because of the kind of parenting that we're doing now to our kids? Or sinasabi nila better daw yung pagpapalaki before ng mga magulang sa atin na napapalo, nahahanger, hindi nakakapagsalita sa dinner table or dining table.
Oo, sobra. Bawag ka sasagot. Tapos pagka hindi ka sumasagot, ba't di ka sumasagot? Ano ba?
Kasi I'm amazed at my child. She's now 17. Kaya ako to na-bring up. And I am really amazed by her, with her. Because the last time we talked to her 2 days ago, nawiwindang ako kasi na-realize ko, oh my gosh, itong mga sinasabi niya, di ko to kayang sabihin sa nanay ko. Bigyan niyo naman ako kahit konting freedom. Tsaka pagkatiwalaan niyo naman ako. Wow! But at the same time, I'm happy kasi at least kaya niya i-voice out yun. Pero sa utak ko, wow, ang tapang ng mga bata ngayon. Which one's right? Paano ba?
Okay. So, meron, ito So, gamit tayo na medyo mas evidence. Acceptance, commitment, therapy. this is one of my favorite approach in therapy. Acceptance, hindi, kunyari siya, binigay ko to sa'yo. Di ba kaya mo siya i-accept?
Yes, thank you. Magte-thank you pa ako sa'yo.
Pero pagkahawak mo, sasabihin mo, ba yan, ininom na, no ba yan? Pwede mo siyang itapon, pwede mo siyang inumin, pwede mo siyang ibenta. So ang point ko dito is acceptance doesn't mean you agree. It doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean you understand it. Accepting is allowing it. So you can allow your child to speak, with respect, with opinions. But, merong susunod, which is commitment. What are you gonna do about it? So, ang unang step is, pakinggan nyo lang muna sila. Kasi sabi ko nga, expression lang naman yun eh. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na pinapakinggan mo, nag-a-agree ka eh. So, pwede ka mag-make space. Okay. Tapos, pagdating nung second part, which is commitment, then you voice out what you wanna do as a parent.
Yeah.
Pero kailangan may allow. Kasi yung allow, minsan yung, sabi ko nga, minsan kasi pag hindi natin na-express, kumbinsido tayo sabihin natin na totoo siya eh. Tapos the moment na sinabi siya nung anak mo, parang siya, ay, nga, medyo mali ako doon. At least, nanggaling sa kanya, di ba? So, commitment is what you do, how you respond based on who you are. Right? So, pagdating sa parenting, ang lagi kong, actually hindi nga alam ng mga tao, pero meron ng parenting coaching ngayon eh.
Oh, yun na nga.
Meron ng
dapat may session ka dito nun eh.
Na parenting coaching.
Dapat may umiikot.
Dapat.
Dito sa Pilipinas, di ba?
Oo eh. Kasi,
parenting coaching eh.
Kasi skills yun eh.
I know. And it's hard to be a parent.
It's hard. Wala naman pagkapanganak mo, okay, ito ganito maging parent.
Kung may coaching tayo sa mga trabaho natin.
Exactly. Dapat meron.
Parang pagiging magulang.
I 100% agree. Bilang we take on another role as a parent, kailangan natin ng coach, 'di ba? Na kailangan natin na unang-una, do not discipline when you're angry.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Na parang don't do it out of anger, but create a respect. Yun yung sinasabi ko na pwede mo sila i-disiplina versus punishment. Kasi punishment, tapos na yung ginawa, tapos binugbog mo na. Disiplina is you create structure in the home, may mga hard rules doon. Yun yung isa sa mga sad ako, hindi na tayo nagmamano. Yun yung mga sabi kong ganda pa rin sana ng cultural values natin na nagmamano, nagpopo and opo, nawala na rin.
Correct. Kung meron man, kaunti na lang. Oo, agree.
Or kaya baka binubuli pa sila na, ba't ka nag-oopo?
Oo, nawiwindang yung iba dahil hindi
What
alam
is
yun.
po? Ganun.
Oo nga, ibang-iba na ngayon.
Iba na.
Now let's talk about, this is one of the topics you suggested, high-functioning anxiety. First, define what is anxiety and what is a high-functioning anxiety.
Okay. Magugulat ka dito, Cha, pero lahat ng tao may anxiety. Right? Hindi ka nagulat. Sabi mo, I can see that. No, when I say...
Lahat ng tao?
May anxiety.
Oo.
Hindi kasi lahat
Iba-iba
naman ng
lang
tao
yan.
nag-worry eh.
Correct. Oh, anxiety is just...
Yeah. So, anxiety is when you are focused in the future and then you're focused on the bad and the worst thing that can happen. That's anxiety. Okay?
Nanay yan Di ba nanay? O galing ng nanay
Kaya yung
yan.
sinasabi ko nga, lahat naman ng tao may anxiety. So, dito ko na siya i-differentiate.
Okay.
Merong normal at saka merong neurotic.
Okay. Oo, define.
So kunyari, in-invite ako sa podcast na to. Pwede ka ba next week? Kakabahan ako. Kaya kanina sabi ko, di ba kinabahan ako? So yun, nag-worry ako, nagkaka-anxiety ako. Pero, ang normal anxiety, magtatanong ako na para anong topic, anong oras, anong gagawin. Tapos, magpe-prepare ako.
Yeah.
So, normal anxiety makes you prepare somehow.
Yeah.
It gives you something to stress about because it's important to you. Neurotic anxiety, you become paralyzed. Di ako pwede next week eh. Sa iba na lang. Yung meron ka ng avoidance.
Okay.
Yun. So, pag neurotic anxiety, ibig sabihin, di na pumapasok, ayaw na mag-reply. Na sila, kumbinsido sila na yung mangyayari sa future, mangyayari. So, iniiwasan na nila.
Mangyayaring hindi maganda agad.
Correct.
Yun agad.
So, kunyari, another example would be school. Diba? So, mga bata na may anxiety, ayaw nang pumasok kasi may kinakatakutan sila na mangyayari in the future. So, ngayon pa lang, iniiwasan na nila kasi convinced silang mangyayari yun eh. So, isa sa mga very simple ways to overcome anxiety is to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
So ngayon, nung kunyari lang, didil ko yung anxiety ko, okay, ba't ka kinakabahan? What's the worst that can happen? Baka judge ako ng mga tao. Okay, and then, yun lang. Okay, kaya yun. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, the more you understand your fear, and wag natin kalimutan may kadugtong yun, ibig sabihin, judge ka nila, tapos, kasi may kadugtong yun eh. But people who have neurotic anxiety, wala, i-judge sila ako, tas hindi ko kayanin, mamamatay ako. So then they back out. You understand? Meaning, they get so convinced that they become paralyzed.
Kailan umaabot sa neurotic anxiety?
Pag paulit-ulit na yung avoidance. Kasi, ito siya, napaka-common nito. A lot of people, since the pandemic, di na sila lumalabas ng bahay. They start to develop what I call agoraphobia.
What is that?
Agoraphobia is lalabas lang sila ng bahay. You can look it up if you wanna understand yung mga taong nasa labas lang sila ng bahay nila, grabe na yung panic attack nila. That means that there are so many things in their lives that they have avoided, that their lives are so small. That even a sense of kumabog yung heart nila, nagkaka-panic attack sila. They have become so isolated.
Oo.
Ganon. So, hindi na sila lumalabas, hindi na sila nakipagkita sa friends, hindi na sila lumalabas ng kwarto nila. Yun, neurotic anxiety na yun.
Nagagamot pa yan?
Yes. You know, may isang client ako last week, sabi ko sa kanya, ano bang life? Kasi syempre, tinitignan ko yung buong buhay niya. Ang report niya sa akin is, nahihirapan siyang huminga kasi nga, lagi siyang kinakabahan. Ang pinaka-simple, baka i-judge ako ng mga tao, pero I like making it relatable kasi. So, yung mga cats and dogs, mapapansin mo, parang obligasyon pag may aso ka, dapat winawalk mo.
Yes.
Tapos pag di mo sila winawalk, nagwawala sila, nagzuzoomy sila. Ganun tayo eh.
Especially cats.
Yes, yung mga cats tumatalon pa, di ba? So tayo mga humans, kapag hindi natin ina-expel yung energy, nagkakaganon din tayo. Ito.
Kumakabog yung dibdib.
Oo, tapos akala nila heart attack. So, majority of the time, people with panic disorder, agoraphobia, anxiety, they have no relationship with their body. Ibig sabihin, kumabog lang yung heart nila, na-interpret nila yun ng threat.
Okay.
So, minsan, sinasabi ko sa clients ko, mag-jumping jacks ka. Try lang natin. Minsan, sasabayan ko pa eh. Okay, hinga ka. Tapos natututunan na, okay. So, kumabog yung heart ko, kaya kong i-relax. And sabi ko, yes. Sabi ko, kasi kailan mo ba last time totoong naramdaman yung ganong kaba na natutunan mo na kaya mo rin siya ma-overcome?
Kumbaga, tinuturuan mo sila how to manage their emotions and their body, to listen to their body.
Yes.
Okay. High-functioning anxiety. Ano naman to?
Well, una is that you're controlling. Sorry pero...
Oh my gosh.
Controlling. Ibig sabihin, may ma-distort lang sa schedule mo, parang taranta ka na. Okay. Second is that lagi kang 10 steps ahead. Yung parang wala pa tayo, nasa SLEX pa lang tayo, pero nasa Tagaytay ka na. Ganon. Tapos third is that convinced ka na at yung mga actions mo, nakabase na siya sa worst thing that can happen. Meron akong isang client, sabi niya, kasi operahan pa lang yung asawa niya. Tapos lumapit siya sa akin sa therapy, sabi niya, inaayos ko na nga yung funeral niya eh. Tapos sabi ko, sabi ko, teka lang, inooperahan pa lang yung wife mo. Tapos sabi niya, pero yun, very high-functioning, meaning naging part na ng anxiety yung buhay nila, that all they do is to avoid pain.
Wait, how will you know if, kunyari sa trabaho, ang dahilan ng anxiety mo, kung hardworking ka lang or high-functioning anxiety na yan?
Well, kasi may mga tao naman talaga na gumagaling sa trabaho dahil sa high-functioning anxiety. Oo. Kasi,
So, hindi masama yung pagiging...
Well, technically, ito na lang meron silang nasa-sacrifice. How about that? Meaning, sure, I'm high-functioning, I'm successful, but ito yung kapalit.
Yeah.
Successful ka.
No time for herself,
Yes.
for himself.
Or kaya lagi kang...
Mabilis.
Oo. Tsaka mga psychopaths, yung mga sociopaths and people who have low remorse, low desire for people, they are the CEOs. They're not found in streets, doing nothing. They're very, very smart. They don't think about the consequences to other people. Inisip lang nila sarili nila and how they will perform. Yun. They are so focused on, getting things done, na wala sila nung layer of being human.
And kadalasan mga high-functioning anxiety.
Yes.
To.
Yes. They are the ones who are convinced in the story in their head. Medyo mahirap bigyan ng insight. Kasi nandun na sila meron na silang sariling mundo.
Parang di mo nahahalata na nahihirapan, may pinagdadaanan kasi galing pa rin talaga sa trabaho. Tapos walang empathy towards other people.
Yes.
So it's a bad thing.
It is. Ano kasi,
Paano
diba?
ka hindi
Like I said,
mapunta dun, right?
Yeah. So like I said, meron kasing normal at saka neurotic anxiety.
Oo.
It's normal to feel worried,
Yeah.
but not enough that you think it will happen and you will die. You get me? Meaning, it's okay that you're anxious if it makes you prepared. For example, bilang mga magulang, we're anxious about our kids. You know, na we worry about
I think
them.
that's normal.
Yeah.
Oo.
But for us to not, engage, to become paralyzed, to become convinced na parang ganito, kunyari, pupunta akong Baguio. Hindi na lang pala ako sasama kasi baka may mangyari. Tapos hindi ka na nga talaga sumasama, nag-a-avoid ka na.
Sobrang nega.
Yeah.
Tas full of avoidance.
Full of avoidance.
Ano mga common signs ng isang tao na high-functioning anxiety na pala itong meron siya aside dun sa 10 steps?
Una, sobrang ingay ng thoughts nila. Anything that has to do with order, making sure dapat ganito. Should. Tawag ko nga dito, must-turbations. Marami silang masturbations. I must be perfect. I must be like this. Kaya tuloy, onting bagsak lang, nasa-stress sila kasi hindi nila matanggap na hindi sila umabot sa standard. Pero yung standard, sobrang taas naman. So it's easy to fall short.
Hirap din silang magpahinga.
Oo. Minsan nga yung rest is, sa kanila parang pilit.
Sinasanay na laging may ginagawa.
Or kaya may guilt pag may rest.
And yung anger issues din.
Yes. Kasi yun yung overstimulated na sila. So any form of trigger, may pitik.
Oo. So how do you deal with this high-functioning anxiety? Kailangan na ba ng doktor pag ganyan?
Sana magkaroon na siya ng space to talk about it. Kasi ito medyo magiging cheesy ako. Pero ang totoong tinuturo ko sa clients ko is makilala nila yung sarili nila. So values. Ano bang vina-value mo? So kunyari lang, pasok ako sa office, tapos nakita ko ang kalat, tapos sabi ko, ano ba yan ang kalat nito? Pwede ko pagalitan yung yaya or yung helper, pero ano bang values ko? Organization or being kind to other people? Mamili ka ng mas important. Kasi meron tayong tendency na, kunyari lang, dapat lagi malinis yung bahay. But at what expense?
Galing, ang ganda.
Paano kung di na masaya yung anak mo dahil di na siya makapaglaro? Ano mas mahalaga sa'yo? Masaya yung anak mo or malinis yung bahay? Kasi a lot of us are looking at organization, perfection as the standard that we forget at what cost. You have to understand your values. Ano ba mas importante? Kasi meron.
And when you go back to your values, mas madali i-manage yung emotions mo. Yung galit mo, yung feelings mo, that moment na nakakita ka ng kalat.
Yes.
Iisipin ko na lagi
At saka,
pag nakikita ko kalat ng mga anak ko. Ano bang mas importante sa akin? Yung kalat or yung feelings nila?
Yung kalat or masaya sila. Totoo yan Kasi pwede ka magalit na parang, ano ba ito? Ang kalat-kalat. Sure, malinis yung bahay mo. At what expense?
Pero laging ang tingin sa'yo, dragon ka sa bahay.
So ako naman, ang halfway ko dyan siya is balance. Ibig sabihin, itong area na to, huwag kayo dito. Pero dyan, diba?
Pwede
pero meron tayong halfway.
Yeah.
Diba? Kumbaga, ito, no zone to. Dyan, bahala kayo. Balance.
Another topic, overthinking.
Okay. So,
Lahat ba tayo overthinkers?
I wouldn't say lahat.
Mas overthinker, babae o lalaki? May studies ba that shows na tayo yun tayo yun girls?
Okay, let's first define overthinker.
Uh-huh.
Overthinking is when, I wanna also use the term ruminate.
Mm-hmm.
Rumination is when you are running something in your head paulit-ulit because you're trying to solve a problem that is actually not a problem. I'll say it again. We think of so many option A, option B, option C. Nag-overthink tayo. Sobrang daming scenarios because we're actually trying to solve something in our head. Thinking na pag naisip ko siya, magiging okay ako. So we overthink when we feel like we are not in control.
Yeah.
So kunyari, podcast ko bukas. Paano ko mangyari to? Paano ko mangyari to? Kung titignan mo, nag-overthink ako kasi may sinosolve akong potential problem. Pero kaya wala siyang solution kasi hindi pa nangyayari. So why does the brain overthink? Because it is playing a trick on you. The more you think of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, feeling mo in control ka. Pero hindi. So overthinking is a waste of time. You're basically saying, kunyari lang, yun nga, may ride ka ng Sunday, tapos Wednesday ngayon, tapos sabi mo, teka lang, mamonitor ko muna yung weather. Tinitignan mo yung weather ng Sunday. Every day. Thursday, check mo yung weather. Di naman nagbabago.
Yeah.
So sabi ko nga, you're wasting your time. Why don't you just say, Sunday pag umulan ito, pag hindi umulan ito. That's it.
Paano mo malalaman pag yung pag-iisip mo healthy pa? At super overthinker ka na?
Okay. Pag ang unhealthy way of thinking is that it's always one-sided. So you're only thinking about the bad stuff, hindi na siya balance. And then you're only thinking about the good stuff, hindi na rin siya balance. So you have to consider both. So kunyari, paano kung breakan niya ako? Paano kung ganito? Paano kung hindi ka niya breakan? Kumbaga, a healthy brain is rooted in the truth. May katotohanan doon, meron realistic siya. So pag umiikot sa brain natin is puro irrational, walang evidence, walang basis, puro feelings lang, medyo unhealthy.
Practical way to stop overthinking. Para sa mga overthinkers, kaya ba talagang patigilin ang utak?
Yes.
Are there parang exercise for our brain and minds para hindi tayo ganun kabaliw sa pag-iisip?
Okay. Overthinking kasi happens when we are focused either in the past or in the future. So, kunyari nagugas akong pinggan. Pag habang nagugas akong pinggan, yung inisip ko, grabe, may meeting pa ako mamaya. Tapos, yan, overthinking yan.
Kala ko normal yun.
Well, so I'm gonna teach you the real solution to overthinking is to bring your focus back to your present. Ito na lang siya. Ang hirap makipaglaro sa mga bata after a long day, di ba? Kunyari, tapos ka na sa trabaho mo, tapos set aside mo, tapos kalaro mo sila. Ang hirap kasi pag nilalaro mo sila, may inisip ka na, wait lang yung project pala.
I know.
Yun.
And working moms are like that.
Exactly. So, ang ginagawa ko, kailangan natin gumawa ng structure na iiwan tong phone na to physically so that when I go here, I am 100% here. So, ang real solution for overthinking is bringing yourself to the present. Even sometimes having to call it out, meaning using your senses to go back to the present. Yan. So, a lot of mindfulness. Siguro, exercise would be when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is not look at your phone, but just to ground yourself with today, what's gonna happen today, yung physical bringing of yourself to the present. I remember saying, kasi my son, dinala ko siya sa Disney cruise. Sabi ng anak ko, Mama, I wanna stay here forever. Sabi, I wanna be here forever. Tapos sabi ko, well, anak, we cannot pause time, but we can make it slow. Tapos sabi niya, how do we do that, Mama? Sabi ko, don't be on your phone and be where you are all the time. If you're in the buffet eating, be in the buffet eating. Bumabagal talaga oras kapag mindful ka, hindi ka distracted.
Okay.
Kaya di ba ang bagal ng oras sa probinsya?
Oo, super.
Sobra.
Yun ang
Yung
lagi nilang sinasabi.
Ang bagal kasi anong ginagawa mo? Nandun ka lang sa moment.
Oo.
So mabagal.
But pag weekend, ang bilis ng oras, nasa moment naman ako.
Kasi sobrang dami mo ginagawa.
Oo nga pala.
Diba?
Oo nga.
Diba?
Oo,
Sobrang dami mo ginagawa. Nagka-catch up ka ng mga stuff mo.
I know.
So siguro one challenge also is maybe dedicate a day in a week where there is no phones. You will be forced. Practicein mo lang yung parang, okay, isang araw today. Magpapaalam ako sa mga maghahanap sa akin. Marirealize mo sobrang daming beses na bumabalik ka sa phone na ano nga, hindi nga pala. So, isa sa mga reminders ko sa sarili ko, kasi I do that. I remove my phone every a certain day. And then what I realized is, ang dami ko palang oras at saka second, walang mangyayari ditong emergency. Minsan kasi ganun iniisip natin baka may ma-miss ako. Baka merong emergency. Walang emergency. Kasi kung kailangan ka nila, they know where to find you.
Yeah.
So
if it's really an emergency.
Correct.
So may part din yung technology kung bakit grabe yung
Sobra.
anxiety ng mga tao ngayon.
Sobra.
Kasi anytime they can reach us
Yup.
Kahit out of the office na tayo.
Correct.
Especially for you because you...
Yeah.
I know.
Nagbabakasyon lang ako. Tapos naririnig ko yung phone ko, nagbabasa ko, mamaya na.
But you practice this.
Yeah.
And how was it? Yung ganong
Boundaries.
feeling-
Boundaries.
Oo.
My clients know that they can reach out to me anytime. I'm that therapist. Minsan nga
Really? Kahit anong oras to?
hinahayaan ko sila mag-rant.
Okay.
So sinasabi ko like, may nararamdaman kayo, go. Kasi minsan masarap yung feeling na may nagbabasa nung rant ko So hinahayaan ko sila mag-rant. Pero they also know that number one, I'm not an emergency person. You don't go to me because you're dying right now. Second is that they also know that I will respond in my convenient time.
Yes,
But I
yes.
allow the bridge to be there. Kasi it helps them feel na, kinakwento nila, gano'n.
Oo. Meron
So,
sila na paglalabasan.
okay lang yun sa akin.
Oo.
Basta alam lang nila na hindi ako pang emergency. Meron na kaming protocol in place na kapag nangyari to, ito yung gagawin mo. And then also na, they also know that I have to practice na huwag sila masyado nagre-rely sa akin.
I remember you telling us before, nung first guesting mo sa pod, na hindi ka kumukuha ng kaibigan na kliyente.
Yeah.
Why?
Kasi kunyari lang tayo siya, ginawa kitang client. Paano kung sinabi ko sa'yo yung insight ko? Number one, mapapahiya ka bilang friend ko. Na parang, shucks.
Alam na niya.
So, dun pa lang meron ng, kawawa yung client, sayang yung client kasi meron na siyang wall sa akin.
Okay.
Diba? Second is, basta ang priority ko, but hindi ko siya ginagawa, is yung client. Ako kasi minsan kaya ko eh.
Okay.
I mean, didiretso kita kasi sa amin.
Ayaw mong mahihiya sa'yo.
Oo. Ayoko yung ilalagay ko sila sa posisyon na nadjajahe sila sa akin.
Awkward sila.
Oo. So, minsan ang ginagawa ko, nirefer ko na lang sila sa kilala ko ring psych na medyo sure ako magva-vibe sila.
Because I thought, di ba, minsan kasi, pag akala mo may relationship na kayo, mas madali.
Yeah.
Minsan pala mas
Pero
mahirap.
kasi sa mga barkada ko ngayon, I talk to them as a psych minsan, pero alam nilang tropa-tropa lang. Kunyari, sinasabi ko,
maging tropa talaga nito. Alam mo yung sa inuman?
hindi totoo. Sinasabi ko sa kanila,
pa-consult ako today. Libreng consultation
alam nila
sa
yun,
inuman.
shoutout kila Tor.
Saya magkaroon ng friend na psychologist.
Alam nila yun, they come to me kasi alam rin nila that my feedback is as a friend plus what I know. So kunyari, sinasabi ko sa kanila, medyo avoidant ka kasi. Tapos sabihin nila, ano yung avoidant? And then I explain.
Yeah.
So I still do talk to my friends about it, but not in a formal session. But I do. I love, going into my couple friends, Jam and Luis, na pag pinupuntahan ko sila, like, sinasabi ko talaga kung ano yung nangyayaring dynamics. Kasi I think yun yung benefit that may kaibigan kang psych.
Pero mahirap yung trabaho.
Oo. Hindi ako magjo-joke siya na kaya ako nagsistay sa trabahong to. Kasi hindi ko na na-imagine yung sarili ko doing something else. Sobrang hirap niya kasi hindi siya cookie cutter eh. May ubo ka, ito. Ikaw ganito ka ganun. No.
Iba-iba.
Iba-iba. Bawat
And
kliyente.
it's draining, right?
Oo, kasi hindi ako...
Listening sa problema ng iba habang ikaw wala kang pinagdadaanan. Halimbawa,
lang.
or kung ikaw meron
May
din sariling pinagdadaanan.
Correct. So, isa sa mga skills that I've learned doing my work is, kaya nga sinasabi ko, hindi ako nagjo-judge. Kasi pumapasok ako sa world nila eh. Ibig ko sabihin, iniintindi ko saan siya nanggagaling. And ang hirap gawin nun. Kasi syempre hindi ako pwede mag-multitask, diba? Na parang, hindi, 100% nakikinig ako sa'yo. And nililugay ko yung sarili ko in your story kasi that allows me to see it na parang, okay, dito medyo may mali ka. Mahirap siya pero masasabi ko na this is the most fulfilling career ever. Because when they come to me, nakikita ko yung progress na parang, wow, kinaya mo na yun. Tapos sineselebrate namin.
Yeah.
So, I think, yun nga, yung naging part ng advocacy ng life ko is, if I can be there for someone, even just for an hour, for them to have hope, it's worth it. It's worth it. And, sa totoo lang, natututo din ako eh. Pag kinakausap ko sila, parang, bigat na. And then I reflect it back to me. And then I go, thank you that I'm part of that experience. And then I also learn from them.
Oo, kaya kahit gaano kahirap, nandiyan ka pa rin.
Oo.
It's very fulfilling siya.
Sobra.
Oo.
Parang ikaw, public service yung sa'yo.
Wow. Oo, pareho tayo.
Diba?
Mahirap pero
Public
very
service
fulfilling.
Kasi ikaw yung tool mo eh.
Oo, yeah.
Diba? How you present yourself, how you become, minsan pa nga, vulnerable, kinikriticize, binabash ka pa na parang, diba? Parang you put yourself out there to help people. Not everyone will understand and that's okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you sleep with your heart, you sleep with your mind, you like what you do, you win in life.
Baka may mga nanonood sa atin who wanted to get into this field like yours. How will they know if kaya nila to? Sabi mo nga kasi mahirap at para sa kanila to.
Okay. In the Philippines, definitely get your bachelor's degree and then maybe do your master's. And then siguro the biggest question you should ask yourself is why?
Yeah.
Diba? Is it because for the money? Is it because AI is around now? You need to know why. Kasi at least for me, when I immersed myself in the setting na hindi ko inakala, something in me really hit eh. Yung parang sabi ko sa sarili ko, ang sarap pala nung feeling na yon na may privilege akong magbigay na galit na sa kanya lahat ng tao, tas ako kakampihan ko siya. Sobrang sarap. So my advice, I guess, for people who want to pursue psychology is learn to connect with people first. Because if you hate people, diba? Ayaw mo sa tao.
True.
Ayaw mo makipag-usap.
True.
Tapos judgmental ka, na mabilis kang mag-impose, medyo baka hindi siya para sa'yo. But if you have genuine desire to really be there for people and not to make it about money per se, I think it is kailangan natin sa Pilipinas.
You shared earlier na bago ka napunta sa field na to, rock bottom yung buhay mo.
Sobra.
Kasi like matindi, na feeling na hindi mo alam paano ka pa makakabangon doon. Let's talk about healing. whether you talk about your personal healing journey or healing dun sa mga na-therapy mo, what healing actually looks like. Paano ba to? I mean, anong itsura ng taong nag-heal na talaga? And can you really heal?
Yeah. Okay, mahilig ako sa analogies siya kasi mas madali siya explain. Let's talk about what causes trauma muna tapos healing. Trauma is when, kunyari yung anak kong 5 years old, tumatakbo siya, tapos nadapa siya. So may sugat siya, may trauma. Most of us, just like my son, ang unang sinisigaw Band-Aid. Mom, Band-Aid! So cover. Ganyan tayo eh. Pag nasaktan tayo psychologically, okay na yun, ayoko na yan, wala na yun, cover. Pero ano mangyayari sa sugat na kinover, di ba? So magkaka-infection, tapos magkakaroon ng layer of skin, tapos pag natatamaan siya, masakit. Ganon ang psychological wound. Ibig sabihin, kinalimutan mo lang, wag na natin pag-usapan, okay na yun. But at one point in your life, matatamaan ulit yung area na yun. Relationship, problema, etc. So pag nagkasugat ang tao na may infection, kailangan hiwain, tas i-drain, tas lagyan ng gamot, tas i-seal. So similar to us, kailangan natin i-open up ulit. Pag-usapan natin yung ayaw mong pag-usapan. And then the symbolic meaning of the infection coming out is like your tears, your laway. Yung parang, yung nilalabas mo ulit siya for the first time. Until wala na siyang hold sa'yo. Yung wala nang lumalabas. And then you create closure.
Okay.
So when you close it, kahit pag-usapan pa, tamaan pa, hindi na siya masakit. That is healing. However, how I look at it in trauma, healing is when you are faced with the same trigger. Ibig sabihin, ito na naman siya, nangyayari na naman siya. But instead of spiraling back to your old patterns, you respond to it differently. Yun. You will still get triggered, but you will not anymore spiral back to your old patterns. You will choose differently.
But how will you know if you're just surviving or you're totally healed?
Una, meron kang genuine pursuit of yourself eh. Di ba sa Maslow's hierarchy of needs, survival, yung triangle na yun, sa pinakataas, self-actualization. Yan ang totoong human goal natin, is to self-actualize. Meaning, we do not base our self-reality sa external. Kilala natin yung sarili natin, kaya kahit ano pang nangyayari, hindi tayo basta-basta na-shake. That's what healing is when you have a good relationship with yourself, you know who you are, and it's not based on circumstances.
Bakit may mga taong mabilis mag-heal? Tapos bakit merong ang tagal?
Sobrang daming factors dyan. Posibleng maganda yung resources niya. 3 bagay. So biological, psychological, social. Biological, pwedeng mabilis talaga mag-recover yung body nila kasi marami silang in-invest na self-care sa sarili nila. Alam nila yung feeling mag-isa. Diba? Kung baga sanay ako maging mag-isa so hindi na bago sa akin to. Psychological, meron silang coping na hindi unhealthy. Pwedeng hindi sila umiinom, pwedeng meron silang totoong pagharap sa sarili nila. And then the third one is social or your environment. So maybe they have a better surrounding or environment or social support.
Okay.
So it really has to be about these 3. Biological, psychological, social. Kailangan maayos yan.
Okay.
Maayos tulog mo, maayos pagkain mo, maayos yung rhythm ng katawan mo. At tapos psychological, meron kang support, di ba? And then the third one is yung environment. Kung lahat to sabog, matagal talaga healing.
Healing a broken heart.
Ay!
Kasi pag healing pinag-uusapan, broken heart din ang naiisip natin eh. Bakit may mga tao siguro ngayon na nanonood or nakikinig sa atin, ang sasabihin nila, tagal ko naman ang gusto mag-heal. Ginawa ko na lahat yan, Mikey. Pero ba't ganon? But every time marinig ko yung pangalan, may madaanan ako na lugar kung saan kami dati nagpupunta, mabalik yung sakit at kirot.
Gusto ko yan. Gusto ko
Oo.
yung example na yan. Kasi yan yung classic na pag nag-break, binablock, kinakalimutan. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa'yo, Chana, anxiety thrives in avoidance. Ina-avoid mo lang naman eh. Di ka naman talaga totoong hinaharap. Ang
So
totoong
it's
healing,
important na harapin natin.
oo. Hindi ko sinasabi na kasi may mga, ko nga sa ibang comments na hindi ibig sabihin you will tolerate abuse. No. Hindi ko sinasabi na harapin mo kahit niloko ka. No. The point I'm making is harapin mo yung feeling. Diba? So, kunyari may breakup, wag mong i-cover up, wag mong i-press down na namimiss ko siya, nalulungkot ako. Hindi, acknowledge mo lang. Bigyan kita ng napakasimpleng tip kung heartbroken ng isang tao. Minsan kasi may kunyari, nag-break kayo, tapos malungkot ka, Tapos ayaw mo yung feeling ng lungkot. Ang ginagawa mo, pinapalitan mo yung lungkot ng, alis tayo, gawin natin to. You're just setting it aside. So what happens when you actually hear about this person or you see a picture, umaangat na naman to. So ang sinasabi ko, express mo kasi. Ang problema kasi sa atin, pag sinabi natin na mahal ko pa siya, may kadugtong na shame, pero ang tanga ko. Mahal ko pa siya, pero hindi na niya ako. Huwag mo nang dugtungan, sabi mo lang mahal ko pa siya. Walang meaning yon, walang
Accept
value
it.
yon. Just acknowledge, mahal ko pa siya. And I'll tell you right now, one of the activities I like doing when I was healing my broken heart, I still talk to my ex. Through verbal, but not for the person to hear it.
Like paano?
Oo, I call it the empty chair technique. Oh.
Okay.
So,
Teach us
kunyari,
about
kunyari,
that.
kunyari.
Okay, kapag ka may mga gusto
gawin
ngayon
niyo to.
na ganyan.
Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is
So-
the first time na narinig ko to.
Okay, so
Okay.
kunyari, came from a dinner with my friends and then pagsakay ko sa kotse parang lungkot ko. Ganun, naalala ko pa rin. Huwag natin isuppress. Express. So, ang gagawin ko, pindutin ko yung phone ko, voice recording. Tapos kunyari kausap ko siya. Namiss kita today. Alam mo,
God.
that's it. You have to express it. You know why? After you express it, you realize, okay na pala ako.
And how long are you gonna do that?
As long as it still hurts. And then one day, you will not anymore need to do that.
Do you listen to it? To
No.
your voice clips?
I don't listen to it. I just,
You just record it.
tinan mo yung diba, depression, tas ito expression. Try mo siya. Kahit nga galit ka, kunyari pikon ka sa isang tao,
Or
tas
kahit
hindi mo
magkarelasyon
masabi.
kayo eh. Oo,
Oo.
kahit hindi ex eh.
Express mo muna.
Oo,
Tapos
oo.
pag na-express mo, after 2 hours, yun pa rin yung nararamdaman mo, baka kailangan mong i-bring up. Pero kapag nawala na siya after,
Wag na.
parang wag na.
Ang ganda niya.
You have to express it. Kasi yun yung sinasabi kong gumaganon yung bulkan.
Oo.
Tapos may, ayoko na sa'yo. Sasabog ka na ulit. No, just express it. Kaya importante yung journaling. Hindi naman lahat ng tao mahilig magsulat. So ako, voice recording ako. Kasi sinasabi ko na, miss talaga ako today. Sobrang lungkot ko. You know? And then after a while, I go, okay, I'm okay now.
So, hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon kailangan mo ng kausap.
Yeah. Kailangan mo lang siya i-express.
Oo.
At saka alam mo kung ano pinaka-therapeutic sa therapy?
Yeah.
You hear yourself.
Oo.
Yung
Na
ikaw-
hindi mo madalas naririnig tong mga bagay
yes, na hindi mo masabi.
Yes.
So, nung ikaw na yung nagsasalita, parang ikaw, oh nga, ikaw naman talaga yung totoong nagkaka-insight because you're expressing it, you're confessing it eh. It loses its power. So, kunyari sabihin ko, hi, I'm Mikey, I'm an alcoholic. Parang the more I recognize it, it doesn't hold me back anymore. Wala na siyang kadikit na shame. Kasi in-acknowledge mo na siya.
Mm-mm.
So, healing from a broken heart, my suggestion is just take your time. A lot of us kasi hindi natin, minamadali natin. 2 months na, 3 months na, ba't ganito pa rin na-feel ko? Okay lang yun. Grief yun eh. I mean, pag may namatayan, basta sabihin mo sa kanya, uy, 2 months na patay yung ano mo, iniyak ka pa rin.
Or even the deceased loved ones, pwede natin gawin yun. no?
Yes.
Oo.
100%.
Right? Ganda nun. Ang ganda nung technique na
Yun
yun.
yung sinasabi ko sa'yo na pag may sugat, may trauma, open mo.
Yeah.
Pag-usapan mo. Tapos iiyak mo siya. Tapos close mo na.
Ang ganda. And as long as it hurts, you
As
can
long as
do
it still
it.
hurts. Yes.
Oo. Whether voice recording man yan or journaling.
Yung iba mga
video
lantern.
message. Depende sa
Oo.
inyo. Oo nga,
Yes.
sa plants. Oo, right.
Yes. So, maraming ways to not deal, yun nga, express it. Kaya nga may art.
Mhm.
Kaya merong
It's
maraming
also-
paraan.
Yan din ba yung reason kung bakit dumadami ngayon ang namumundok? I mean like,
Yeah, oo.
nag-hiking, sobrang dami kong kakilala.
Yeah.
What does nature have to do with healing?
It allows us to remember that we are small and our possibilities are big. Ibig sabihin, meron kasing, di ba pag sa condo, kunyari may condo ka, mas mahal yung may view kaysa yung walang view. Kasi there's something with our eyes that when we see something bigger than us, it gives us a feeling of connection to something bigger. So, a lot of times, magandang break from, city, yung pupunta ka sa bundok, tas dami mo nakikita. What's therapeutic there is what you're seeing actually.
Oo.
And what it makes you feel after.
Yeah.
Na, ang laki pala naman doon, dami pala ng tao. Kasi minsan kulong tayo dito eh. Ito lang iniisip natin, ito na yung paikot-ikot. So when we actually get ourselves out there, it humbles us to know na malit lang pala ako. Malit lang pala yung mundo at connected ako to something higher.
Oh. So,
100%.
okay then when you're feeling down
Mhm.
to go
Muni-muni.
somewhere
Yes.
na
Kahit nga sa mga rooftop lang, mga roof deck.
na malaki.
Na malaki.
So that
Kailangan
you can see.
makita mo yung sky.
Oo.
Kailangan ma-remind ka na malaki yung mundong tinitirahan mo.
Paano mo mo malalaman kung yung nafe-feel mo is an ordinary heartache versus betrayal trauma na?
Okay, betrayal trauma is when malalim yung... Okay, kunyari niloko mo ko, Cha. Tas yung reaction ko sa'yo sobrang laki, disproportionate, kasi meron nang gumawa nun sa akin. So kunyari si Sam, sinaktan na ako dati, tapos sinaktan mo ko ngayon, maliit lang naman yung ginawa mo, pero yung reaction ko sa'yo, it's so big. Ibig sabihin, hugot ko yun sa kanya. But if it's an ordinary one, the reaction is proportioned. When I say proportion, meaning ninakawan mo ko ng ganito versus ninakawan mo ko ng laptop, tas yung galit ko sa'yo, equal lang sa value nito. Hindi yung in-FO na kita, bala ka na. You know what I mean? Parang, we always want to look at proportion ba yung reaction niya sa totoong nangyari. Kasi kung sobrang laki ng reaction, kunyari yun nga, yung natapon lang yung something, tas, ano ka ba ang bobo mo? Yun, medyo parang may dysfunction siya doon. So it is trauma. Ibig sabihin may hugot.
Posible pa ba talaga na pag gano'n niloko ka, possible pa yung tiwala na talagang mababalik? Or
Sobra.
better to just leave it all behind? Paano?
No, sobrang posible. Our brain kasi tsaka body, yung connection niyan, the nervous system, yung body kasi natin, grabe rin siya mag-alala ng memories eh. Parang ganito, ito medyo personal ko na onte. Pag nakikita ko yung tatay kong nagsi-cellphone, sobrang triggered ko.
Okay.
Yun.
Why?
Okay. Kasi, pag tinitingnan ko siya, cellphone. Kasi ang sa akin, trauma ko, iniwan niya ako eh.
Okay.
For 15 years eh. So kung nakikita ko yung tatay ko na nagsiselfone, tapos natitrigger ako, hindi ako galit na nagsiselfone siya. Nagagalit ako kasi naaalala ko yung feeling na wala siya. So if you ask me, is it possible to trust again? Of course. Because I'm not mad
Like
at...
100%?
Yes, because I'm not mad at this present dad. I'm mad at my past dad. So this person deserves that, but not this.
Oo.
So yun, medyo malalim na work to sa therapy na kailangan natin magkaroon ng correctional experience with our emotions.
Matagal yan.
Depende kasi kung willing yung client eh. Marami kasing mga, ay hindi ko gagawin yan. Hindi naman din ako namimilit. Pero it's possible. What we learn, we can also unlearn.
Oo, especially for halimbawa yung mga nag-cheat yung partner. Paano yun? Pag ganun, sabay? Ang therapy?
Yeah, it depends the gravity at saka kung merong abuse. We don't want to, number one, we don't want the clients to get re-traumatized. So it really depends on the risk involved, the safety involved. But if two people are willing, tapos things are fine on the side, definitely may ways.
Kunwari yung nagloko
Couples therapy.
talaga, niloko ka ng asawa mo.
Yes, pwede yun.
Walang physical abuse. Yung talagang iloko ka, gusto nyong ayusin ulit.
Yes.
Pag ganun, sabay ang therapy.
Yes. Merong individual each.
And how long?
Tapos couples. It really depends on, number one, the willingness. May mga manluloko kasi na parang, wala naman yun eh, nawala ka man yun eh, di ba? Pero may mga manluloko na, sisisi talaga ako eh. So, depende siya dun sa willingness ni client. Pero, really, what we measure is the motivation. Why do you even want to get back? So, we want to do screening first. When we say screening, titignan muna natin yung capacity. Dapat ba talaga magbalikan sila? Dapat ba ito ba talaga yung best goal? Meron bang trauma si wife dito na kaya siya bumabalik doon kasi wala siyang pupuntahan? So, sobrang daming factors.
And how do you say dun sa couple na nagte-therapy sa'yo? Kasi nga sabi mo, hindi kayo nagbibigay na advice. Pero paano nyo sinasabi na, be, wala nang chance?
Imagine mo bumibili ka ng kotse. Instead of me telling you na hindi bagay sa yung kotse na to, papakita ko sa'yo na ito yung mga mangyayari, ito yung... you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I give them what I have observed, what I have noticed based on this, and then they will see, oh, ganon. So, in essence, I am guiding their decisions.
You're not
But
telling,
not telling them na-
directly,
Oo.
hindi kayo okay, pero ito yung mga mangyayari pag pinilit niyo
Correct.
pa.
I show them my assessment. I show them what's likely gonna happen rather than telling them na wala na to, maghiwalay na kayo. Hindi ako nag-a-agree sa mga direct na mga advice kasi ninanakawan ko sila ng opportunity to do it for themselves. However, I will do everything in my power and my profession to make sure na naiintindihan nila yung mga bagay na yun. And the only time na magbibigay kami ng advice at mangingialam kami is kung may safety na talaga. Tipong papatayin ka na niya, bubugbugin ka na niya. So, yun meron na kaming layer of pigil.
Kailangan pigilan.
Kailangan na yun.
Oo. Kahit anong klaseng problema pa sa relationship, cheating, ang bilis manawa, takot mag-settle sa isa or takot pumasok sa commitment. Gaano ba kalaki yung impact ng childhood sa adult relationships natin?
Oh. So ito homework ko sa yan siguro sa mga nanonood. Try to think and reflect on how similar your partner is to your parents. Right? May mga
Nagre-reflect na siya. Okay.
You see what I mean? That we usually end up with a partner that reminds us of what our parents could or could not give. Why? So, in therapy, kaya nga may mga clients ako na sinasabi, ano ba yan, pumunta ako dito tungkol sa marriage ko, tapos pinag-uusapan yung childhood. It's relevant. Because yun yung alam mong pagmamahal eh. So, hindi ka all of a sudden coming from a dysfunctional family, all of a sudden alam mo kung ano yung functional. No! You go back to that kind of home. You go back to that kind of parent. Believe me, I've seen it.
Okay.
Kaya minsan, ang totoong healing, kasama yung mga nangyari talaga sa childhood, na kaya pala ako balik ng balik dito. Kasi, yun nga, iniiwan ako ng tatay ko nung bata ako. Tapos, eto, lagi ko iniisip, iwanan din niya ako. So, we call it attachment. It's how we learn to attach to our parents, that we use that kind of attachment growing up.
So, sa dating pa lang, dapat inaalam na.
Ang
childhood. Paano childhood mo, Be?
Parang magkasama ba parents mo?
Oh my gosh. I mean, like...
But that's different from attraction, Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. Kasi we do get attracted to people, but what sustains our relationship is when two people understand that they also married each other's children version.
Okay.
Meaning, kung paano ka sa bahay mo nung bata ka, you're most likely like that in your own home today.
Oo.
Yung kung paano ka mag-deal ng heartbreak, paano ka mag-deal ng... Ito, kung paano kayo mag-conflict. Kung paano nangyayari yung conflict sa bahay growing up, ganun din kayo mag-conflict at mag-resolve today.
True.
That's why a lot of my work in therapy is equipping with skills. I teach them conflict resolution. Kunyari, wala mo nang sisigaw. Pag ganito, ito yung gagawin mo. Pag gusto niya mag-walkout, ito. Coaching talaga siya. As if we're learning a skill.
Okay. So, paano mo malalaman kung napapasa mo na dun sa relationship mo yung childhood traumas mo or hindi mo magandang experience ng childhood?
Well, naalala mo sabi ni Sam na parang nagsha-shutdown siya.
Yeah, yes. During, ng
It is very
away
likely.
nila.
Sorry, Sam, shout out.
Shout out, Sam,
Ginamit
para
ka na
sa'yo
namin.
to. Oo.
But it's really because that perhaps when he was a child, tas napapagalitan siya, he has probably no right to speak up. So, doon natin natututunan, sabi ko nga sa dad ko nung isang araw. Daddy ko kasi ganun tumatahimik. Sabi niya, tatahimik na lang ako kaysa magsalita ako ng hindi maganda. Ito very common. That's not right. Na tumahimik ka na lang kaysa magsalita ka ng hindi maganda. Sabi ko sa dad ko ng isang araw, so dalawa lang choices mo, dad. Tatahimik ka or magsasalita ka ng hindi maganda. Bakit hindi yung gitna na magsalita ka pero maganda? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have been so conditioned with like, di lang ako magsalita kaysa magsalita ako. Parang pwede ka pa rin magsalita. But you can say, nasaktan ako, hindi pa ako ready ngayon, nararamdaman ko, umiinit yung ulo ko, pwede ba mamaya na muna tayo mag-usap? Ang ganda nun. Na parang you're able to say na, nararamdaman ko, pasigaw na rin ako, tumataas yung tension ko, pwede ba mamaya na natin ito pag-usapan? Pwede namang maayos Hindi naman kailangan tumahimik ka, shut down, or magwala ka. Meron, pull mo siya sa gitna.
Tsaka I remember what you told us before na pag nasa argument kayo, hawakan mo yung kamay.
Oo.
Kahit mainit na yung ulo, hawakan mo yung kamay.
Anong ginagawa
Tapos
mo?
pag ginagawa mo, minamahal ka. Hindi ko makakalimutan yun.
Pero totoo kasi yun.
Yeah.
Dahil you remind yourself na, piko na ako sa'yo, pero pinipili pa rin kita.
Mahal pa rin kita.
Kasi that helps the body understand that we can fight, but we can still feel safe. So, yun nga yung connection na kung hindi kayo makapag-connect in level of your brain to reason, connect in a different manner. Na magkahawak pa rin kayo ng kamay.
Ngayon sa mga counselings mo and therapy, ano madalas pinoproblema nila?
Addiction. Especially ngayon yung mga online. Sobrang accessible kasi niya accessible siya, malit lang naman yung halaga, ganito. So number 1 yun, addiction. And then second, I would say is relationships. Marami na kasi ngayong uso situationship, ang dami na ngang ship, diba? Situationship, kabit ako, or kaya ganito ako. And again, a lot of it has to do with, ito kasi yung alam nung tao. You know what I mean? And then I would say the third one, that the most common one is anxiety. Yung worried sila lagi. Kasi hindi ko alam kung napapansin mo siya. Parang ang bilis ng panahon. Di ba? Ang daming everyday. Parang tayong lagi may nahabol.
Super. June na nga agad, di
Yun
ba?
na nga parang ang busy ng mga tao. Everyone's just a lot of things happening. So, and I think, nasa culture din natin na buy now, pay later. Do this and get this. But parang everyday ka nag-upgrade. Di ba? Like, they may rush siya lagi.
Grabe tayo, no?
Grabe tayo as humans.
Even like the Asians daw, when we went to Melbourne, my friend was telling me na doon daw sa Melbourne, na mga lokal doon, like the Australians, hindi sila pala shopping. Pag
Hindi
nagpunta ka ng mga
bagal
malls,
sila.
ang nandun, Asians daw. Di ba meron sa balat natin? Ay,
Oo,
dugo
tayo,
natin.
no? Yeah.
Oo. At
Tsaka isa
ganun,
pa,
yung
Europe, they're so slow. Yung buhay nila,
Really?
first time ko sa Europe last year, but I noticed their lifestyle. Kunyari, hi, can we get the bill? Siguro darating sa'yo mga 20 minutes pa. Kasi hindi sila nagmamadali eh.
Okay.
Tapos off sila ng work nila ng hapon kasi may work-life balance talaga
Dito
sila.
ba meron?
Walang ganun.
Work-life balance?
Wala. Dito wala.
Oo.
Sorry, I'll be honest.
Pero
wala.
paano yun?
We romanticize kasi yung overtime.
Exactly.
We romanticize yung feeling tatrabaho ako.
Or na maraming ginagawa.
Na maraming
Na feeling mo
ginagawa.
pag marami kang ginagawa, successful ka.
Yes. Sobra. What we're not realizing though is yung brain natin, dahil forever siya naka-turn on, parang pag nag-off siya, feeling natin yun yung problem. Hindi natin nare-realize it's opposite. Rest should be prioritized. Rest should be normal. Being bored is a need. I'll say it again, kailangan nabobore tayo. Kasi kung hindi ka nabobore, you don't think about your purpose. You think that everything is on fire, that you have to do something about it. But I'll tell you, boredom is when wala akong gagawin. Tapos napapaisip ka sa life mo. Kaya maraming tao ngayon walang purpose, di ba? Lagi nagmamadali, lagi hindi ko nga rin. Parang in my mind, bakit ba gusto mong yumaman? Ano bang purpose mo doon?
Ganda.
Wala rin silang masagot.
Oo.
Kasi why? We're never bored.
Ano yung healthy boredom sa isang araw?
Kailangan talaga nabobore ang isang tao.
May
Kasi
isang oras ba? Dapat bored ka? Paano?
siguro kahit I'd say boredom without the need to do something immediately.
Okay.
So kunyari being on your phone, reading a book. It's parang bored ako. Ano kaya pwede kong gawin today? Yun, healthy yun. The fact that you're able to pause, hindi yung, ako nga pala may kailangan ako tas wala pang 5 minutes, nagmamadali ka lagi. That means your brain has a tendency to burn out.
Okay, anong side effect nun or bad effect sa utak natin pag walang boredom?
One, we never think of our purpose. Believe me, siya. Boredom is the result. It's a privilege, but it is the result of things are okay. So if you are not bored, that means you're not content. Kasi you're always feeling like you're rushing eh. Boredom is a sign that everything's fine. There's nothing we need to do. There's no emergency. Kaya nga siya blessing eh. Yung anak ko nung isang araw, Mama, I'm so bored. Tapos sabi ko, that's such a good thing. Ibig sabihin, wala kang kailangan gawin.
Oo.
But Mama, tapos sabi ko, yung anak ko nga nagwawala dahil bored siya. Paano pa kaya tayo? We don't get bored, but we need to.
Na-demonize kasi dito hindi lang siguro dito sa Pinas, pati sa ibang bansa, na pag wala kang ginagawa, pag di ka masyadong busy.
Wala ka silbi.
Parang wala kang silbi. Parang ang tamad mo.
Yeah.
Parang hindi ka nakaka-keep up sa mga nasa feed mo na ang daming ginagawa.
Exactly. Na-try mo na ba siya magtanggal ng social media for like a week, 2 weeks?
Sa trabaho ko.
Oo nga eh.
Pero
Sabi ko, I'm
gusto
sure.
ko, alam mo gusto ko, isa yan sa mga pangarap ko that I haven't done in
Kaya
so
yung
many
sinasabi ko
years.
sa'yo, ang hirap ng trabaho mo.
Oo.
Kasi yun yung wala siyang work-life balance in a way because work is your life. And then life is your work.
Oo.
Yeah.
And my work is news. So I have to
Exactly.
stay
You
on
have to be there.
my phone 24/7.
Yup.
Oo.
Kasi you serve the people. So,
But I feel like most of the people are like that.
mhm.
Alam mo yun, na parang
Yeah.
konting-konti lang yung oras para sa sarili.
Mhm.
Tapos mas madalas yung oras sa trabaho more than their family or their loved ones dahil sa klase ng trabaho na meron sila. How would you know if consuming na yung work at hindi na healthy for you?
I love that
Kaya lang
question.
gustong-gusto mo yung work na yun eh.
I just shared this technique to a client yesterday. Sabi ko sa kanya, starting today, I want you to log all of your activities for a week. And I want you to do it on Google Calendar. So sa Google Calendar, sabi ko, if you work, make it blue. If you spend time with your friends, make it pink. If you spend time with your son, make it yellow.
Wow, ganda.
Kailangan rainbow yan.
Ganda.
So sabi niya, okay. So talagang tinali niya, nilog niya lahat ng ginagawa. Pagtingin namin, puro blue. So sabi ko, okay, puro work. So, bakit tayo nagugulat?
Na-burnout ka.
Na-burnout ka.
Oo.
So the point I'm making is that energy management, time management is essential. You cannot complain if you're also, radically ganun yung itsura ng everyday mo. So ang sabi ko, goal niyan dapat, assign ka lang ng kulay sa 5 aspeto ng life mo. So kailangan kahit paano rainbow yan.
Mm-mm.
Kasi kung blue, puro trabaho, tas ganito kaliit yung spend mo sa anak mo, ganito time sa sarili mo, hindi siya balance.
Okay.
So, isa pa na advice ko is that hindi lahat ng bagay kailangan matapos today.
Oo.
Kasi ganun tayo eh. Tapusin na yan para magawa na yan today.
Tama.
Parang bakit kailangan lahat today matapos?
Oo, last day mo today.
Parang bakit kailangan sabi ko, delegate it. Kunyari may 20 pages ka na kailangan tapusin. Gawin mo siya 5 pages a day. Ganun lang. Huwag mong ibuhos lahat dito. Kasi we're not just talking about time management. We're talking about energy management.
At kailangan may boredom sa isang araw.
Exactly.
Sabi ni Mikey.
Yung forced na wala akong gagawin. Kahit do it for 30 minutes, 40 minutes of just gratitude. The capacity kasi natin na maging okay has a lot to do with our ability to notice the good stuff.
Hindi lang pala boredom during weekends, no?
No.
Hindi pala.
Kailangan talaga every
From
day.
time to time, dapat may,
Yeah.
may boredom.
At another one, kunyari, nasa kotse ka, try mo walang music.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Yung
Oo.
hindi ka everyday stimulated. Or kumakain ka nang wala kang phone. Or naguhugas ka ng pinggan na walang nagpe-play. Yung nakafocus ka lang sa isa. Tapos nandun ka sa moment na yon. Kaya favorite ko yung sinasabi ko na kwento ko yun sa inyo. Diba yung Lego? Wala kayong phones, kayong dalawa lang mag-asawa. Tapos may ginagawa lang kayo together. Mafa-force kayo mag-usap eh. Kakaroon kayo ng connection. Tapos magtatawanan kayo. Meron ako isang family na family therapy kami. Away sila ng away. Tapos sabi ko sa kanila, sige. Kasi na-interview ko sila. Lahat sila marunong magmahjong. Every Saturday, nagmamahjong sila for 2 to 3 hours. Nagkabati-bati sila. Alam mo bakit?
Cute.
Pag naglalaro kasi kayo,
Oo.
play or
Oo.
activity,
Oo.
lahat kayo magkakapantay eh. Lahat kayo players.
Tama.
Walang may isang exempt sa rule. So ngayon, ang nangyayari, you all play by the rules, you all play with each other, tapos nagkakaroon kayo ng forced encounter.
Oo.
That's why play is so important.
Nawala
Yun.
na masyado ngayon.
Oo.
Because
We're all in our own phones.
Netflix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Di ba pag nandun kayo, tapos may ginagawa kayo together, nagkakatawanan kayo, nagkakapikunan, pero may rules, tapos pantay-pantay.
Oo. Walang distractions.
Yup.
Sa game lang, tsaka kayo.
Yup.
Burnout versus overstimulation. I mean, anong difference nito?
They're pretty much the same. Pero pag sinabi ko kasi burnout siya, may brain tayo tsaka body, diba? Burnout is kaya pa nung body mo physically to do the work. But your brain is just, does that make sense? Ibig sabihin, I have a lot of energy. Pero hindi ko magawang mahila yung sarili ko to focus there. Oo.
So pag hindi ka focus, most likely
Most
you
likely
are
nababurnout ka.
Okay.
Yung parang, kaya siya physically, ibig sabihin, you're okay physically. Wala kang, kaya mahirap i-diagnose ang burnout kasi wala siyang physical manifestation, di ba? It's just that you're withdrawn. It's not like you're lazy. It's just that I cannot bring my awareness and focus and motivation to do the task. So minsan, ang sinasabi ko, kung hindi kaya ng brain, mag-rest muna yung body. Talagang kailangan sabay silang nagre-recuperate eh. Overstimulation naman, ito laking problema din right now. Hindi rin siya makafocus, pero walang sense sa body na hirap. So overstimulation is when you cannot sustain your focus also. Kasi you're overstimulated eh. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka mapakali. You're restless. Yung okay ka naman, pero parang burnout is that you're almost paralyzed. Parang nag-overheat na yung kotse.
Okay. Paano makaka-recover from burnout and overstimulation?
Honestly, remove your stimulation.
Okay.
I always say, regulate or manage your stimulation because some of us, kunyari lang nagpapaantok, gabi na, pag naglagay ka ng blue light sa mata mo, yung brain mo, iniisip niya umaga pa. Kaya kailangan natin mag-wind down. Yellow light, pagdating ng mga 6:30, bababa na yung activities. Everything that is slow, mas relax, yun, kailangan hanggang sa makatulog ka. Kumbaga tinutulungan mo yung brain at body mo mag-slow down. So no TV, no any form of stimulation. Kailangan yun yung time makwentuhan kayo ng family or kaya to connect with yourself, do your journal, ideally. Kasi ang nangyayari pag overstimulated ka, yung brain mo hindi rin siya nare-relax tapos hindi mo rin alam kung kailan ka nakaka-focus. Kasi you're always watching something.
Yeah.
Yun yung sinasabi ko, hindi talaga self-care ang
hindi
Netflix.
self-care ang Netflix. So,
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Ito. So, bakasyon. I mean, makakatulong ba?
Oh, definitely.
Sa
Because
burnout?
bakasyon
And
naman,
gano'ng kahaba dapat? Sa isang buwan? Isang taon? I mean, anong requirement para sa mga nagtatrabaho?
okay, it doesn't have to be a vacation na parang sasabihin nyo sa boss niya, like, burnout ako, sabi niya, magbakasyon ako. No. But 4 things. Whether this is a vacation, whether it's at your house or normal na whatever it is, but you have to be regulated. The first one is your sleep. Ang tao kasi, hindi natin nare-realize, kaya siya tinatawag na circadian rhythm. Kasi may rhythm yung katawan natin. Alam nung katawan kung kailan tayo hyper-focus, kailan magre-relax. Kung sobrang gulo niyan, minsan natutulog ka 3 hours, 4 hours, you're really gonna burn out. Second is your stimulation. Yun yung sinasabi ko na manage your stimulation. Don't make your brain do a lot of things 24/7. Otherwise, it doesn't know how to turn it off. And then perhaps the third one is to cultivate stillness. Cultivating stillness is when you enjoy yung wala masyadong activities, tahimik, and you're cultivating it. So quiet activities. Painting, reading, yoga. And then the last one is movement. Kailangan talaga kasi ng body nung natural dopamine and adrenaline even para lang mag-balance siya ulit. So those 4 things: stimulation, physical sleep, manage your stimulation, and then the last one is
Which one's more important? Sleep or movement?
sleep.
Sleep pa rin talaga,
Oo.
no?
Pwedeng mabuhay ang tao ng matagal basta maayos ang tulog, pero mamamatay ang tao ng walang tulog. Magsha-short circuit yan.
Pero gaano ka-importante yung movement sa, mental health ng tao?
It's, I think I mentioned this nung sa Fun Run. Uy,
Fun run.
Shout out.
Oo.
Sobrang important kasi the body, kung parang pwede natin tignan yung body as the fuel, tapos the brain as the engine. Kung ano yung quality ng body mo, yun yung quality ng mental health mo eh. So kung marami kang movements, your body is actually producing good hormones. Kahit nga sex eh, di ba? That's why sex is good because you're moving. But it's very important in the sense that you teach your body to become resilient because you're inducing pain. Diba? Sinasaktan mo yung sarili mo by working out, by running. But your brain is also learning na, okay, kaya ko pala mag-recover.
Okay. Sobrang dami nating natakil ngayong hapon na to. At parang feeling ko, ang dami ko pang gustong itanong pero kulang yung oras. Pero last na lang, what would you say to someone na physically okay siya outside pero inside durog na at maraming ganyan ngayon?
To me, ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, physical, whatever, is yung self-talk mo. And when I say self-talk, this is how you view yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you believe in yourself. Because if you have good physique, hot ka, pero pag uwi mo, pangit yung tingin mo sa sarili mo, walang kwenta lahat yan.
Amen.
Diba? So your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship because everyone else can notice the good stuff in you, but they're not always there with you. Diba? Kaya nga naniniwala ako na ang confidence, nanggagaling siya sa evidence mo sa sarili mo. Kaya ka nagiging confident kasi nga nako-confide mo na kaya ko to naniniwala akong kaya ko. Katulad ngayon, kaya ako kinakabahan, sabi ko lang sa sarili ko, hindi, may evidence ako before na kaya naman siya. Ibig sabihin, yung relationship ko sa sarili ko, kahit walang magsabi sa akin, meron akong narrative, meron akong self-talk na alam kong boses ko. Kasi marami sa atin, yun minsan nga sasabihin na, ang pabigat ko Sasabi ko, wait, sino nagsabi niyan? Sarili mo? Sabi niya, hindi, narinig ko to nung bata ako. There. You're still operating in someone else's voice.
Yeah.
So no matter how good you look like, no matter how you present yourself, if your self-talk is negative, you don't like yourself, you don't know who you are, none of those matters.
Grabe. Sobrang daming. Sobrang overloaded tayo ng information at kung ano yung mga pwede nating gawin to be okay and to heal. But I think number one is if you're feeling down and not okay and parang pakiramdam mo hindi na enough yung mga ginagawa mo ngayon, I think this is the time for you to see a
Wow.
psychologist. Saan kanila pwedeng
Okay.
hanapin? San kanila pwedeng
Wow, thanks
makausap,
for
Mikey?
this, Cha. Ikaw talaga.
Right, thank you.
So you guys can look me up on Now Serving. So just type my name, Maxine Hiron. Or you can go to my website. Wow!
Yeah, or
Website.
Instagram.
Or Instagram. So there's a lot of ways to book that. But really, Cha, thanks for, not just for me, but speaking about mental health. We need more of those. Kasi sabi nga nila, paano ba natin maayos yung mental health ng Pilipinas? Paano natin ma-destigmatize? We need to keep talking about it. And, as much as sobrang okay ng AI, iba kasi yung tao eh. Thank you for being part of this movement.
Oo, iba yung nakikita mo, naka-eye-to-eye contact mo.
Oh.
Di ba? Yung kausap mo or magkausap
At saka
man kayo
naiiyak
online.
din siya, naiiyak ka din.
Yung
Oh.
may feelings.
Human ka.
Hindi sinachat GPT natin yung feelings natin. Mas masarap pa rin yung may nakakausap. I have to agree. And I think here in the Philippines, marami pang kailangan gawin ng gobyerno
Yeah.
para tulungan yung mga taong may pinagdadaanan sa mental health nila. Kasi sa PhilHealth, hindi kasama ha.
Oo nga
Mental health
Nakita ko din yan.
check-up. And then there are a lot of health cards na
Hindi rin. Oo nga eh. Actually, that's
It's
very
a sad
true.
reality. I did a documentary about it, a short docu. Meron kami nakausap going through some mental health issues. Pinasok siya sa isang facility. Pero sinagot ng family niya, I mean, buti na lang, capable sila. Pero
Correct. Paano yung iba?
mga hindi?
Correct. Tsaka sobrang
Right?
daming need for mental health. Addictions, yung mga nabubully, saan sila pupunta. Kahit basta may tao may mental health. How about the first-time moms na mga nasa hospital? How about yung mga pamilya na yung loved one nila, paano sila magpe-prepare, the loss.
Yeah.
Or even in schools, like how do you handle bullying? Parents, diba? So hanggat may tao may mental health. And I hope the government really puts attention to this.
Yeah, and yung sinasabi mo kanina, sana yung policymakers natin and those who are in the position and in power will do something now kung paano aayusin yung basic unit, yung family. Di ba?
Correct.
Basic unit muna yung pamilya kasi nga sinasabi ni Maxine kanina, most of the people who are inside the prison,
Yeah,
dysfunctional yung family.
100%.
So, baka dapat magsimula na tayo mag-ikot-ikot ngayon. Damihan natin yung mga kagaya ni Mikey Hiron dito na umiikot at nagtuturo sa mga magulang on how to guide their children, on how to parent their children.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
everything na
Thank you,
natutunan
Cha.
namin today.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you so much. Once again, Mikey Hiron, straight from the heart.